The problem with it though is it's not overly beneficial for those gatekeepers or those league owners or those people that are pulling the money. That's not beneficial to come off of other aspects of what they leave and go home with. And that's why I say it goes back to why don't more of the artists take this initiative. And one of the main answers that I think you just gave was the financing one. I throw in the second one, which is once again the work ethic of it. We could say the third one is the having the knowledge. Your example of teaching you about, like, listen, go rap on the music, etc. From the Showtime episode that you did, and then you went back, you made some off of that. So we could say the knowledge, the work ethic, and the financing, right?
You forgive me.
I think which one?
The willingness of the person with the knowledge to share.
And I bundled that with work ethic, the
Okay,
willingness.
gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I think if I had to put them in order, it sounds crazy, but the financing I'm gonna put in last place.
Yeah,
You know, because I feel like when you have the work ethic towards it and the knowledge, you can interchange those as one and two. There's a
mhm.
lot of things that people can be doing to create million view content with no money spent if you go about it the right way with the right people.
that that's something. And mentorship, business mentorship. A league owner, no league owner has ever said, no league owner. I've thrown the most successful events that have ever been thrown in Detroit. That's barring no league. That's barring no league. More bodies in the building, more people in that place, barring no league. Nobody says, "Hey, Quest, yo, I noticed what you were doing with that." Or Quest saying, "Hey, yo, I don't understand how to X, Y, and Z," and people being willing, right? There's there's no mentorship in that regard because there's no room. Do you think that at one point in time, it's a generally known thing that DNA brought a big investor into battle rap? Do you think that DNA would bring that investor into battle rap the way he did then today with the knowledge he has? Probably not. Like, people were bringing money and just saying, "Shit, I could get booked." Like, so it's clear. Like, if you don't have the know-how, it's clear that uh every league, and I'm just being respectful. I know you don't mind if I mention other leagues or what have you. I just don't want
Nah, not at all. Not at all. I do here on the channel.
very,
Go ahead.
it's very, very clear that organic understands business. It's very clear that you understand business. It's very clear that the people at URL understand the business aspect and the business side of battle rap. Why would I educate you if you're employed?
That's the point that I just made.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
But
the point I just made.
but with that, if you're not listening to the people that know the shit, the investment, the risk of investment is a thing, 100%. But artists aren't criticized in other places the same way. Like, we're not talking to Lil Baby about why he don't run 300 or why he don't just put out an album on his own. We talk about it when he complain about the money, right? We talk about it when those things happen. There's not room for growth, in my opinion, for everybody, but we got select few. We got select few. And the business model is, in my opinion, what's got to be dissected. Because, yo, maybe y'all are paying too much up front. Maybe $50,000 is crazy to pay somebody unless you get to own it forever.
I think that's where one of the things that I had a small reputation for behind the scenes. I still to this day think it's one of the great fixes for people that are in a certain driver's seat. Not all, once again, can't go. Not everybody fits the bill, but it's the pay-per-view model. It's the splitting and the percentaging of the pay-per-view model. And not to make this controversial, but like I did, I'm standing on exactly what I said, even on other platforms. I was asked that by Knowledge on Hip Hop Is Real, and he was just like, you saw Beasley's interview, and he said, it works for smaller leagues. That makes no sense. It was the discussion about how much money Hitman Holla costs, right?
Mhm.
And if I'm talking about the splitting of, then it's not necessarily to me a discussion of, wow, you want $1 million and I only think you're worth 500. Forget what I think, forget what you think. The numbers show, and we have an agreement based on what actually comes in, right? So it takes us out of being at odds. What do you think about uh pay-per-view splits for battle rappers where you actually earn closer to what you generate? And I've been on this stream at times, but you hear saying that, you know, a lot of people we know don't draw that strongly. So we're not talking about everybody, unfortunately. But do you feel like that can be something more commonly used as a tool with, you know, let's say 20% of the battle rappers that actually are putting people in the seats and letting them be in a seat where they can earn more than just some upfront advance? And the residual nature of that to me is as long as the pay-per-view and the VOD runs. And then I feel like the incentive of that really pushes a card. One thing that we've always struggled with is promotion in this space. Every time I've done pay-per-view splits with battlers, I've seen them go above, from the Murder Mooks to the Hitmans to the Cassidys. When I watch, like for example, Murder Mook have certain battles where he's quiet or he's like, man, I'm on this type time. But when I watch him versus Averb, and I watch him reach out to Dame Dash and the Money Team and Jadakiss and Busta Rhymes and all these people to post a flyer, people that don't even follow battle rap or know RBE has a card that weekend, and him asking them to post a flyer, Wyclef and all these big celebrities. It's all on my Instagram, and I watch these people do multiple face-offs in every interview, and then you wonder why a card like that in a promotion takes over for a certain period of time. You know, the financial business structure behind it, not only is it an incentive and it's not an ongoing lifetime residual, but you are at least earning of the core of the money a piece of what is generated, not just some upfront and then either I can get over or I don't later on or in a short amount of time. Like, what do you think about that complementing battle rap business going forward?
Yeah, I think this might be the first time we probably have a shake.
What do you think? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I think that I like it, but I also think it's a little lazy wrapped in there too. A little lazy. Not even lazy. I won't say lazy. I hate like labeling shit. I think that getting a percentage of the pay-per-view should be negotiated. I don't think it should be based on like who clicked to see you. Like we know for a fact that most people don't click that stuff, and when they do, they do.
Wait, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
Most people don't
click that stuff. What do you mean?
Like most people don't click options when they do shit. They just buy it. I don't click an option unless I have to. Like,
I never performed that model. That's not what I'm talking about. That's what King of the Dot did.
Okay, so I think that. Yeah. I do think that battlers should. I think having a percentage or a portion of whatever pay-per-view goes. I also think that everybody on tour gets paid, or they get whatever they negotiated if they paid to be on the tour or whatever the case is. But I think, and I sorry, Drag On. I think
again,
I think if Drag On opens up for DMX, that they didn't need him. But
so everybody on the card doesn't deserve to be paid? Is that a parallel I could draw from that statement?
Nah, I'm saying he still get paid. Like Drag On still get checks off the Rough Riders CD, man. We didn't.
Right, but if you're not needed to be there, are you more in the spot of an opportunity? Are we creating a circumstance that not all battle rappers need to be paid if they're part of an event?
If you're some people, but not needed to be there was kind of the wrong phrase. You're interchangeable.
Okay.
If somebody books a Detroit card, they probably need me to be there. Like if we're rapping, if you're rapping in Detroit and you're booking a card and you want people to come, book Quest. People will come. If we're in New York, I'm not gonna be the biggest draw on that card. People might not be there, so I may be interchangeable. It may be like, man, we'll grab Quest or O-Red, or we'll grab Av, or we'll grab this person. We got to figure out somebody to battle in this slot. So it's a few different slots. So that's what I mean. That doesn't mean that they shouldn't get, that they don't deserve to get paid. When it comes down to just the money on the back end, I just think that you can negotiate something different. I think that the way the leagues are set up, or the way the business is set up for you to sell whatever you got to sell to Netflix one day and not have to holler at Quest.
You think that's the intention, though?
No, no, I
Oh,
can't
okay, okay,
I
okay,
can't say intention, but
okay,
I
okay,
can
okay.
say that when you if you sell Mr. Mills and Marv One to Netflix, you are not obligated to do
That is
any.
true. That is true. That is
Now
true.
it's gonna play into your heart. And that's why I say it playing to like Mac Myron and B Magic. I wasn't obligated to pay anybody else, but based on the performance and me instantly looking at my crowd, knowing my bank, because I'm going back and forth to the door or whatever. I know my take at the door.
I've done that.
I know I got an idea what the pay-per-view is doing, because I mean the VOD is
You're
doing.
watching
I
it.
saw
Yeah.
the numbers. This is my second event. Well, fourth event, but my second, this is power two. So I know what the last one did. So I got an idea. Am I able to reach in my pocket and just break off a couple dollars or whatever for a performance?
I've done
Yeah.
that. Yeah. I
Do
respect
I
that.
have
Yeah.
to? No.
No. Yep.
Would I
Yep.
do the same if some major bread came just for the B Magic and Mac Myron battle? Of course I would,
Yep.
but I wouldn't
Yep.
have to.
Yep.
And
And
and I
not having to also gives you the power to decide how much or what percentage of. So yeah. Yeah.
so I do think I do think that just the business model of it is kind of shaky. And what I would ask, a bigger question to the battlers that are now throwing these cards: are you operating in the way you want to be handled? Are you handling your business the way you want business to be handled? Are you treating your battlers the way you want to be treated? Because when Quest threw battles, Quest made sure everybody got picked up from the airport, made sure everybody got to their hotels, made sure when they got to their room, their money was in their hand. And that was probably a bad mistake from a business standpoint, but that was a part of the battler in me leaning in and saying, yo, I understand how being out here in these spaces and not knowing if they're gonna have the money, because this is a new league. I want you to come here, and when you get off the plane, yo, we got bread, you gonna get paid. I'm not paying you off the door, I'm paying you because I planted. So I guess the question in that space would be, or what I would ask the battlers that are now becoming league owners or moonlighting as league owners or throwing one-off events in that regard: are you treating your battlers how you want it to be treated from the jump, from the dribble? That don't mean paying somebody crazy numbers or whatever. That doesn't mean not being able to have the hard conversations where we talk about what you're worth. um but I think on both sides it's got to be approached um in a way for people to be doing business together. And I don't think that battle rappers and leagues are necessarily doing business together. Again, because battles drop. You don't know when they drop. The battler don't promo no more. If the battle don't go in their favor, they're not sharing it, and all type of other things that you gotta come into play with. But if we were doing business together, it would behoove me to make sure that this is viable forever. If
I respect that.
yeah,
I
if
respect
I'm
that. I
if
respect that.
I'm if I'm Tech Nine, bruh, like, it's in my contract that you pay me off the fucking reels. It's in my contract. It's in my contract, dog, that I'm a collaborator on every single reel you put out. When we talk about battlers getting footage from leagues and like, yo, I'm gonna do this battle, I'm getting the league. You got Anderson Burris. He took the Arsenal battle and put it on his page and he repurposed it, chopped it up. Genius, based on the following that he's already established. You give that to somebody that doesn't understand what to do, it's not gonna make them any money. So then the idea is, instead of giving the battle to somebody, like, partner. I never, if I know that I know what to do with the battle and you want the battle, partner, or buy it from me. But if you buy it from me and you don't know what you're doing, it's not going to benefit you. And then it's like, see, I told you. No, the league, y'all know how to market. And that's a part of, I think, the value of leagues that battlers are kind of losing. the value of a league is to figure out how to market yourself. Like Rosenberg Rod didn't figure out how to market himself by himself. He was doing work with RBE for sure. When it comes down to like his personality online and his presence online, he was doing commentary work for you guys, right? Right? He started off doing like he did commentary work on some of these events, and he found his
Yeah,
ground.
max
Yeah,
out.
and he took that and he did a great job, and he took the information of, yo, Rosenberg is doing a great job commentary, and he flipped that into something else or whatever. We don't got a lot of Rosenberg Raws like that, but the ones that we do have, we got to make sure that they're taken care of. We got to make sure that younger battlers understand how this shit work. But we're just like we just doing shit. Like I don't think nobody
Yeah.
I
I
don't think
think
nobody
I think everything you said right there. Great take. Great take. And I hate to come off like I'm putting the responsibility on others. Well, I deserve to be able to because I'm retired, right? But not real
like
shit.
I just
Like
gotta retire to talk shit.
kind of, but but the reason why I'm gonna come off almost like I'm putting the onus on others is because everything evolves,
Mhm.
right? Or it stays the same, right? So meaning that you have a lot of the big players that have, I mean, to be a big player, you have to be here for a while, right? So I mean, in this space, right? So there's not enough incentive for even those people to change. For example, even let's say me included, if I got back into throwing pay-per-view events and full events and all that type of stuff, there's tweaks and things behind the scenes I probably do that like let me navigate a little bit better from what I see. But as far as overhauling the business, to me, the responsibility is more on all the new league owners that are created. Because, like you said, are you treating the people that you book how you would want to be treated, especially if we're talking about a majority of the new leagues that are being created, which is by battle rappers, i.e., the artist, right? That get to see it from the treatment side of when they were being booked, or they didn't have residuals, or they didn't get paid when these reels were getting posted and going viral. So are you now doing that with the people that you book? I think the responsibility is more on them then, because the others, like, they've had a majority of their run already completed. Nobody that is still here from the earlier days or from 5, 10, 15 years ago, I don't see any of those careers still going in double or triple the amount of time going forward. You're not going to have URL doing what URL is doing today 15 years from now.
Right.
So is it the next TBL? Is it the next power card? You know what I'm saying? Like, these newer, it's really on them to change the landscape a little bit more and change the business models and even the presentation in certain places. And I think we're all here to watch it unfold, and stuff like this puts certain ideas out there, certain conversations. But you have to do it, because what I do see with a lot of the newer leagues that come about, we do, and I don't want to use the word replica, because it's easy to do that in battle rap, and then people try to take your credit from you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'd rather say I don't see enough uniqueness. Like, nothing's new under the sun. So if you create a league after I created a league 5 years ago, right? And you host 3-round battles, to a degree, there's a replica image there, right? But
Yeah.
what if you're doing something where you're saying, I'm doing on beat, or I'm doing a blood, sweat, and tears type of model, or I'm only doing full circles. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm only doing one-off cards. Or you know what I'm saying? Like there's changes there that need to constitute along with these business models. And it comes from the newer people. The older people are not fully incentivized to change this type of stuff in a drastic manner. So I hope to see the continued evolution. And I think that's what's required because everybody's talking about it's dying, it's dying, it's dying. Those things like that are required to not just save battle rap. And when I say save, and that could be taken many ways, I'm just saying bring it back up to a high level, or its highest level. And that's where I'm going to start to drift into some of these other things that are taking us backwards. But before I do that, is there anything that you want to respond to that on? And then we'll move to that next piece.
I think I think we kind of agree on a lot of these points. I think I guess one of the questions I got, if
Sure.
Hitman Holler and Murder Mook came to you and said, "Hey, I want to make sure that whatever battle we do, that if you sell it, I can make some money on any level," would you be open to have that conversation?
I could take it past being open to the conversation. That was the example I gave prior. I actually did that. I did that with Mook already. I
So
did that with Mook multiple times.
so I say that to say, and I remember it was more like a rhetorical. I say that to say it's already happening. Like it happens. You just don't know about it, maybe because we're not sharing this information across the board. Um, maybe people don't talk enough about it, but it's not for everybody. Like I'm a
Yeah.
firm believer, it's not for everyone. All right. So you have to be able to have leverage and you have to be able to negotiate it. Uh, I think that you guys did a great job in that regard when it comes down to being open to negotiate. I've never gotten a contract from somebody that wasn't open to negotiation, and that goes across the board. You and I have talked about bookings where we just talk about something and we don't figure out a number, and it's never hard feelings. Just to close it out for me, I think like my biggest advice when it comes down to just the money talk is it's not personal. Like if somebody don't want to pay you what you ask for, it's not personal. If somebody says, hey, I don't think you deserve this, I think that's a little unfair because you can't tell me what I deserved or whatever because you don't know what I put in. But might not, it might not make sense for me to get this. I might have to find the person that feels that I deserve X, Y, and Z. Um, but I think the conversations like this need to happen. I think that battle rappers have been programmed to look at things that don't make them money as reasons they should make money. Um, we all agree like the art form is important. Like you got to take care of the art first. Um, but I think people be so itchy to say I got paid to battle that they just take anything.